Welcome back. It is time for our pin test. We haven't done a pin test in a while because my favorite pin tester, Mancy Hartson, is who I really like to do these with. And so today, Mancy is here.
Hi, thank you for having me back.
And just so you know, you can have any kind of input from Mancy's like business and website, all that on Facebook. So that's called the Better Half Studio. So we're gonna start right away, but I want everyone to know that's how you get Mancy to be your personal pin tester, more or less.
Yes.
All right, so welcome back.
Thank you.
So you're really good at helping me navigate Pinterest ideas, what works, what doesn't. So we're gonna do a couple of ideas, but we're gonna start right now with it's perfect. We had the garden theme segment with Oak Park. What are we gonna do today?
Okay, so I actually had 3 ideas on our Facebook page for the Better Half Studio, and we went ahead and let everybody kind of vote on what they wanted to see. So hopefully we can continue to do that so that we're showing you things that you all want to see.
Yeah, that you have interest in before you do it at home.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So these are, they're basically like decoupaged pots. So these are your terracotta pots that you can get relatively inexpensive anywhere.
Right, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Your standard flower pots.
Yes.
Clay.
And you want to start by just washing them down with water, let them dry.
Because there is a little chalkiness to the outside of them.
There is, and so it'll allow everything to adhere better.
Okay.
So you just wipe it down.
Wipe it down.
Dry it off.
Mm-hmm. And what else, before we do the actual thing, what other ingredients, let's just say, do we have for this?
So here
You've got your pot, you've washed it down, and what else?
You've washed it down. You can use any paper product. The PinTest that they did on Pinterest was using actual paper. Mm-hmm. So this is
like a construction paper type thing?
Yeah, or it's just a scrapbook paper. Okay. But honestly, what I found through doing this, you can get a little creative. When I do this the next time, I'm going to utilize some other things. So for this one, I used scrapbook paper, craft paper, and that's what this is. Okay. And then for this one, I did go a little bit out on a limb, and this is wrapping paper.
Okay. And then finally, your third paper is
Yes, I got my son interested. He actually wants to make one, and I have these old comic books laying around, and I thought, what a great way to
really any kind of paper. So you've got your pot, you've got your paper. What other items are we going to need?
Okay,
before we do the assembly?
You're going to need some glue. Mm-hmm. You can use this glue, or you can use decoupage. Okay. You have to use the decoupage on the outside, so you can just use it both times, but instead of you can buy decoupage that's like glue that you just paint on here.
So, but let's just give them one. What do you prefer?
When I did this project, I actually preferred to use this tacky glue. Okay. Because my decoupage is spray. Okay. Over here.
And that's a little messier, you need more.
It is. Okay. It kind of goes all over. It's also very smelly.
Okay. So really the glue is your favorite. Okay.
Yes.
So, and then you've got a little paintbrush, little sponge brush, right? Not for shellac or lacquer, just a little hardware store type deal. And that's pretty much it? Is that right?
That's it. And you could use a paintbrush if you had a paintbrush at home. Okay. It doesn't have to be those foam brushes. That just happened to be what I had.
Okay. Paintbrush will work. Okay.
That's our cast of characters. Decoupage, glue, foam brush,
and the pot.
And any kind of paper.
And any kind of paper.
Yep.
Okay.
That's everything.
Okay. So what do you do next? Or, you've got your stuff.
Okay.
Arrayed.
So let's start with the one that actually they showed on Pinterest. It was this colored paper. So the first thing that I did is I just took some acrylic paint, which is right here. You can use any kind of acrylic paint. I painted the top rim.
Right, which is green.
This one's green, and if you look inside, I also painted in here because...
Well, the dirt or whatever's gonna go this far, so you wanted to see that green. That's a cute idea too, just a little extra.
So, here's the thing. Because this is so porous, it probably took me 5 coats of paint.
5 coats of paint for this little green trim.
So, as I am always honest, if you are the kind of person who wants to sit down and you're like, I feel like crafting for an hour-ish, this is not the one you want to do.
Because this takes too long, this part.
It does.
This
if
is
you
a little
want to
longer than
paint it, like you're going to.
And looking at this, I want it to be kind of a quick-ish craft, an hour
And I thought it
craft.
would be. I thought it would be when I looked
But
at it.
that's your warning here. So keep in mind that this painting the outside part of your clay pot is in the inside. It's going to take more paint than you think. It's like painting brick. Like if you've ever painted brick,
that is a perfect.
It sucks that paint in, and you've got to redo and redo if you want a real nice solid line.
Think of your skin after winter when you start putting lotion on, and you're like, I thought I just did that.
Think of your
what
elbows,
happened?
Everyone.
Yes. So that's what happens with the clay pot.
Okay, so be warned about that. So your first thing though is to put that, and then you did.
This is actually the scrapbook paper.
And you just wrapped it.
You would think.
Okay, you didn't just wrap it.
I didn't, because it doesn't work, because it's not cone shaped.
So you had to.
I had to cut squares, and I had to glue them on like this, and then they overlap.
So this isn't the best way. So this is cute, but this just starts to seem like more of a project.
Yes.
Looks cute. Like I said, I like the finished and then you used your glue over the top and underneath to make sure it stays.
Yes, but it didn't stay very well because the scrapbook paper is so. It's like a cardstock.
Right.
It's hard.
So
it doesn't want to bend. Right, and then it sticks out on the top, and you have to like get some scissors in there, and it was really time consuming.
Cardstock-ish kind of paper is not your best bet.
No, and if you're kind of a perfectionist like I am about certain things, so like craft stuff, I want it to look a certain way. Personally, for me, it bothers me that none of these seams, you can't line these up. See, like my straw. It's cute.
So we're gonna move these, we're gonna use these, but in a different way, because I think you've got okay, so this one you used wrapping paper, and boy, does that look better.
It does, and it was a lot easier to use. I did the same thing though. I cut it, and this was a really good way to use that wrapping paper I
was gonna say in your closet or wherever.
And like, it's not enough for you to actually wrap anything, but you didn't throw it away.
So this one, you did the same thing.
I still cut the strips, but look, it's so much smoother.
I really like this so much
better. And even though everything doesn't line up, like these are dragonflies.
Yeah.
But they don't line up. I don't feel like you notice it as much because it's not so chunky.
So look at that. If you're using crafty kind of scrapbook paper, not our favorite, you use that wrapping paper that you bought from the school, and you've got a bunch of them in your closet, and you don't know what to do, and all of a sudden you've repurposed it in a really adorable way.
Absolutely. And then the plus side too to using the wrapping paper is I think it would then transfer over to be like a child's activity too.
Okay.
Whereas if I was trying to do that with my kids,
this is just put a fork in my eye. I don't want to.
Exactly. Like 15 minutes in, you'd be like, why did I think this was a good idea?
And then finally, the other idea would be you can do it a little even easier than that.
Absolutely.
So you took the paper if you do have the cardstock type stuff, that is what you're going to do is cut out those flowers.
I did, and
why don't you put a flower and show us how to do that part of it so we get that right.
This has already been washed and well dried. Like I said, you can use your spray decoupage, or the glue decoupage. It's all going to work the same. It will stick. Try to make sure that whatever you're using goes all the way out to the edges so it doesn't roll up.
So use your brush to make sure the glue is spread nicely.
Right.
And then you take your little flower on your flower. Now that is going to be as cute as can be.
Yes.
Now you can do a bunch, but even just one that faces out is cute.
The other thing I thought of too is like if you were working on this like for a grandparents project or somebody you wanted to leave a note for, you could have your kids write their actual note, thank you note or whatever on the back of the pot. Because once
in chalk, or how would you?
You could use a Sharpie. Just any kind of permanent marker. Because once you spray that decoupage over it,
it stays.
It does. It's like magical stuff.
So as you grab the flower, just to give people kind of a look of, let's put that in there, kind of a look of what it looks when it's done. We do want to say
yes, and I did add some ribbon at the bottom that I found in a drawer.
Once we put the flower in there, you can see this decorating a flower pot. If you do our steps that we said, really is a pin win.
Absolutely.
So we want to make sure people understand that if you're going to decorate a flower pot, use the right kind of paper, the right kind of glue, and expect to spend more time painting than you expected.
Yes.
And you've got a pin win there for this pin test. All right, when we come back, Nancy's got another idea that we've seen on Pinterest that we're going to try. We've got some tips for it. We'll see if it's pin win, pin fail. Don't go away. We're testing things from Pinterest. We'll be right back.